Hi guys, welcome to the Table Read podcast.
It literally only took us 6 months to get here,
I
but
know.
we're here now. We're here now.
Yeah, we had been planning this for since we met, and what was it, like 2 weeks ago? We were like, okay, we need to sit down and plan this.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys. Amber and I met at a Epic Cons convention in Chicago, and literally from the moment she came and signed the flag for Stefani and Danielle, we became friends. Like,
We DM'd because I had originally DM'd her on Twitter because I didn't have Twitter for the longest, and then I got it back, and then I saw she had posted about signing the flag, and I DM'd her, and she didn't respond for like a few days, and I remember texting my friend and being like, "Oh, she definitely thinks I'm weird," and then she finally
no.
responded, and we met, and then honestly, we have talked every single day since then. Like, not a day has gone by where we don't talk.
Literally every day. It doesn't matter if she's sleeping or I'm sleeping, we're gonna wake up to like a mass text. Like,
And we're gonna continue whatever we were talking about.
exactly. There's never a hi or a good, well, maybe every once.
What happened to hello? How
Hello.
are you?
How are you?
So let's talk about what this podcast is going to be. As she just mentioned, we met at a convention for TV shows and where we were meeting our favorite actors. So the table read, for those of you who don't know, whenever a show begins to film, they have what's called a table read, where they go over their lines, see what works, see what doesn't, and that's essentially what we're going to do. Is we're going to sit here and talk about our favorite shows, movies, and actors.
Yes, and we'll even have a little bit of other topics that we'll talk about as well. And as we get the hang of like our schedule and everything, we'll maybe have some special guest interviews. And we're just really excited, and we hope you guys will follow along on our journey.
Well, let's tell you a little bit about us and why we decided to start this podcast. Along with having the same interest as far as actors go in TV shows, we both are wanting to be in the industry. And it kind of works because I am more interested in behind the scenes directing and screenwriting, and Takiya.
I'm more interested in being on screen. I love acting. I've always loved acting. I grew up doing musical theater and normal theater and all that stuff. And I was the kid who used to force my mom to take me to those scamming casting calls at those sketchy hotels. But like it's fine.
Were
And
those the ones with like Esteban from Sweet?
one time I met some actor from, oh my god, who played Agatha on freaking the Jessie.
Oh, was it Jesse?
Yeah, Agatha. Like the nanny,
Oh,
the other
yes,
nanny.
like the Nanny McPhee nanny.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
I
yes.
met her and I was like, oh my god, guys, I'm gonna be famous. This is it. No.
No. How much did you have to pay? Did you end up paying anything?
No, my mom was
Oh.
smart. And we were broke, but like,
That valid. Also, another reason we wanted to start this podcast is because I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like fangirls are honestly kind of taking over the industry
they
in a
are.
way. And I remember when, especially when I worked in music, because I worked in music a few years ago, I felt like I couldn't really be a fangirl. I felt like it was unprofessional. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard when you want to work in the industry, and there's a line between professionalism and I don't want to say creepy, but doing too much.
Hmm.
And honestly, whenever I worked in music, I was like, I'm just not gonna post about anything that I'm a fan of. And
Yeah.
now that I'm not really into that, I'm like, you know what? Especially within the acting world and working on sets, like you have social media pages for all of these
Hmm.
TV shows or movies, and I feel like being a fangirl, it's what gets you there because you care about that stuff and you're passionate, and that's what gets you on film sets if you want to do behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly. There's this person I follow on TikTok and she literally started from nowhere and now she has all these followers. She's judging, her and her friend are judging at a film festival in Japan and I'm just like being a fangirl, it's way more than like camping out at stadiums or
Mhm.
whatever. Like it's way more than that. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand. There's so much passion that comes from being a fangirl.
It's low key stressful
It's
sometimes.
so stressful.
Like I think because I have friends, a lot of my friends actually, they're just not into things. Like they're not a fan of, like they're a fan of things, but it's at like a just normal level.
Yeah.
Like if someone's coming to a town that they like, they want to see in concert, they're like, I might get tickets. Or there's like an actor they watch on a show. What gets me is people who watch TV shows and just can go about their day. They watch
Right.
it and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll wait for next week whenever the episode comes on. And I'm like, you're not gonna sit and watch every single edit and every single like go through their entire social media.
No, see, I can't do that because if I get into a show, like it could be one episode.
Hmm.
I'm on IMDb Pro. I'm looking.
Right.
I'm like, what have you been in? Who is your manager? Like, what are
Hmm.
you doing? Give me
Right.
all the interviews that you've done. Like, I go down a rabbit hole, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a way to get to know them without like knowing them. You know?
Exactly. And I'm, on the social media, like scrolling. They can have like 1,000, 1,500 posts, and I'm like scrolling, trying to see their
Yes.
first post. And it's like, it also does suck though when you do first start watching a show and you can't really look it up because you don't want spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And which we can get into this in a second. But whenever I was watching The Rookie, I wanted to look at the cast. Like social media is so bad, and their TikToks because they're all over TikTok. And I didn't. I really held out because I was like, I'm going to spoil something for me. But my poor mother, she spoiled things for me anyways, so it's fine.
Guys, when Amber started watching The Rookie, I was like holding my breath. I was literally holding my breath
Yeah.
because if you know, you know. Lucy goes through it. Like,
Oh my God. The only reason I knew she wasn't going to die in the like Rosalind
oh wait,
storyline.
can I do a disclaimer real quick? Guys, if you don't want spoilers of anything,
Oh,
you should not be here right now
this
because
is
we're probably
not.
gonna, yeah.
But we're gonna because we're gonna be talking about it all.
Yeah, but if we do ever like talk about a specific show or like episode or whatever, we'll make sure to say it that way. Like, if you
You know.
haven't gotten there and you don't want to know, we won't spoil it for you.
No, no. But I guess that can get us into our next point, like our favorite TV shows and characters, actors. What are okay, what would you say is your favorite TV show? Like, no, this or that, one answer.
Like on air now or
Any, ever.
oh my gosh, wait. I don't know. Wait, no, you couldn't do. Okay, wait. Actually, yes, I do have an answer.
Okay.
The Fosters.
The Fosters. I was just talking about that earlier, wasn't I?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys, if you don't know what The Fosters is, it's such an amazing show. It was on Freeform, and if you know the what is it? The spin-off Good Trouble, that's what The Fosters or that's what Good Trouble is based off of The Fosters. But I started watching that show when I was like 12, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, life can be like this." Like I learned so much. There's just I love when a TV show is way more than a TV show, like it's a real life. And that's what I got from the Fosters. And I literally was so obsessed with it. They followed me on Instagram. Like I entered a contest. I had my 16th birthday, it had the Foster's house on it. Like that was the first time I was ever like in a fandom on social media. Like of course I was a fan of like One Direction or Little Mix or Demi Lovato, blah blah blah. But that was before that like I was really into social media and I was too young for social media to be honest. So
Would you say that show did it have an impact on you as wanting to become an actor, or is like that the show that kind of kickstarted you into wanting to be in the industry, or was that just something that you really enjoyed and you were like, yeah, no, I definitely want to do this? Like, did you have the acting passion before that, or was it from the show?
I feel like I definitely had the acting passion before that, but like I said, I was 12 and like it was more just kind of like a dream. You know, when you're younger and people are like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And kids are like, "A astronaut or whatever it's called. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really know." And they're just like, "Oh, that's cool. Like keep dreaming big." It was kind of like one of those things. But
Mm-hmm.
when I did start watching Foster's, yes, like I wanted to be Maya Mitchell and Sierra Ramirez so bad. I was like, I want to be you. I want to be just like you. They were so amazing, so talented and everything, but it's like every time I found a new TV show that I loved, my love for acting grew more and more and more, and I just wanted to be on set, whether it was behind the scenes or on camera. I just wanted to learn, and the Fosters definitely did open that door for me. And I love the Fosters because not only the TV show was great, the actors were great, but they interacted with everyone. They told us things that were going on. They gave us like just a lot of information that they didn't have to do. And yeah, I just feel like that show, that cast, that production team, so one of a kind.
I feel like, especially because whenever I was younger, I mean, I just wanted to be the next Hannah Montana. I
Yes,
couldn't sing, I
the
couldn't
Cheetah
do.
Girls.
No, literally, I just wanted to be them because when you're, especially if you I mean, I don't think you do, but I don't come from a family like of people in the industry. Like I don't know.
No.
Yeah. So you don't know what there is besides like acting, singing, dancing. Like those are
Exactly.
the only three options. And whenever I was younger, I just wanted to be Hannah Montana, but I went through an acting phase, but I'm not really comfortable in front of the camera in that sense. So I feel like with acting, you have to have like a very vulnerable side, and
Yeah.
I don't, as you know.
Yeah, I
And
know.
and so whenever I got older, whenever I was 12, I went through a really rough time, which I'll spare by the details. But I started watching Pretty Little Liars, and I would say that's probably the show I owe to getting into the industry. I watched it, and at first I was like, I want to act in this. So I did kind of what you did. I would look at these agencies and be like, yeah, you're great. Pay me $500 and you can get in. Like those sorts of things. Never paid, of course. My mom also was smart. And then, yeah, I like started looking up, casting directors, and just honestly, it taught me so much about behind the scenes. And from that moment on, I was like, 100% I want to work in this industry. And then I kind of was like, let me take a behind the scenes seat because acting is just not for me.
It's a
It's not.
lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. I also thought at first, like, when I first started really learning scripts and monologues and everything like that, I was like, I can't do this.
It's a lot.
Like, I can't.
Hmm.
But no, like, you can. It just depends on if you really have a strong interest in something. Like, you have a strong interest in writing and directing and everything, and that's something I could never do. I could never do it. No, no, not for me. I don't like not bossing people around, but I'm so scared of like confrontation and everything like that. I'm like, no, you're doing great, but like, can you just switch that? Like, I'm terrified of that. I'm
Yeah.
terrified of it.
That is the tough. That's why I prefer screenwriting because I'm also not very confrontational. But if I have to do it, I will. But it's like a compliment sandwich. It's like, you know
Yeah.
what? This was great. Maybe if we just kind of try it a little bit, this way, I feel like this, but what you did is great. It just,
Yes,
compliment
yes.
sandwich. But it's still like I don't want them to think that I think they're a terrible
Hmm.
actor. But so that's why I like screenwriting. So I'm like, I can write it, somebody else can take the creative control, and I can at least have my idea being made. Whatever they want to do with it, that's fine. But you can take it out of my hands.
Exactly. Yeah. What like speaking of like creativity and stuff, what
Mhm.
show would you think or do you think really gave you a sense of wow, that was so creative, I want to do that one day? Like besides getting to know like Pretty Little Liars as a show and everything, like or any producer on that show who did something so cool and you were like, wait a minute.
I remember, so like I said, Pretty Little Liars is kind of what like launched me, but I think what really sealed the deal, and this, I guess this might have just go into more, I think more the storytelling with the Vampire Diaries. That is my comfort show through and through, and I started watching that show in, they were airing the last season on TV, so 2016 or 2017 is when I started watching it. And I got so obsessed with it, and they film like 3 hours for me, or they filmed 3 hours for me in Covington, Georgia.
Hmm.
But it's known in the show as Mystic Falls, Virginia. And so my family and we took a trip to where they filmed the show, and I was just so amazed because the town essentially, it's just a small town. Like there's nothing crazy about it. And then I got there and I was just so amazed at how they are able to write the script, tell the story, and make it seem so like it's its own world on television. And then when you get there, it's like this looks like my town. Like it's just, the magic of it is still there. I mean, the show's been off air since 2017, so how many ever years that is. Math is not my strong suit. That's why I went to film. But it's been off the air for so many years. I mean, you have these conventions still happening where the cast comes back and fans like meet these people, and people are still traveling to this city, and it's crazy. It's just the magic never died, and I think that is what really drew me in was the storytelling and how it could just make everything seem so much more interesting once it's on screen, and then you get there and it's, I don't know, it was crazy to me.
Do you know what like the way you describe the Vampire Diaries, I've never seen it, but the way you describe it, it reminds me so much of the Magic Treehouse books that we used to read when we were younger.
I remember that, yeah.
Like, I mean, that was way more like
Hmm.
crazier and different and all that stuff, but the creativity that you just said and everything like that, like that's what that reminds me of. I miss being a kid. But like
I know.
it's nice now because maybe we can create the shows that now
I
kids
know.
watch. You know what I mean? Or like
I
be their favorite
know.
actors or want to be like them when they grow up. That's like the greatest thing about the industry, honestly. Like people, I mean, I know everyone in sports also they
Hmm.
can relate to this and everything, but I feel like with acting and producing, writing, whatever, the industry is so different. Like to have someone say like the station
Hmm.
with Maya and Karina and how Stefani and Danielle constantly say like people come up to them or like parents come up to them, they're like you gave my daughter so much strength or you gave me so much strength, you helped me come out in my family, like blah blah this all of that. It's just like I feel like it hits so different. I don't know what it is.
It's so crazy, like how I guess this kind of leads me like into our next point, but characters who in shows and characters who just impact people in a way that you can't even describe, and I can't even imagine like if I was that actor playing this character, how that would feel. So I guess I'd say, is there a character, and I think we might have the same answer on this one. Something's telling me that it's like always gonna stick with you, like that their portrayal was something that you needed to see on TV.
Maya Bishop.
Maya Bishop, yeah.
Um, for those who don't know, Maya Bishop is a character on Station 18. Her character is tough. She went through so much trauma with her family, personally, like a lot of things. And I feel like with Maya, I relate a lot to the sports side as well, and like the pressure and everything, and needing to be perfect, and always having to be on top, and kind of never slowing down, and feeling like if I did slow down, that means I'm weak. And so I feel like that it just so much with that, and then also of course like family things and everything. But I feel like everyone has some sort of family trauma that they
Hmm.
have. But along with her, I feel like out of the Station 19 characters, um, Karina, obviously, not with like, obviously I'm not Italian or anything, but
I would have never guessed.
yeah, right? Just look it. Um, but with like, her relationship with her family as well, and her relationship with her brother. I have a sister, not a brother, but like, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Um, And yeah, I just feel like those two characters, which is ironic considering they were married in the show, but like those two characters just hit differently than any other character in Station. But I can relate to a lot of the characters in that show as well.
In general, with just like Maya and the family dynamic, same situation
Different.
or same dynamics, different situation, um, like on screen, and it's really nice when you watch a show and you see a character that's not tied neatly with a bow.
Yeah.
Like when you can actually get in the layers and see what's going on behind, like seeing your family represented on screen, even if it's different than exactly what's being portrayed.
Hmm.
So nice. It's kind of refreshing, even though you would think, I don't want to deal with my real life. Why would I want to see it on screen? It's nice
Yeah.
that
Sometimes you
they
need
are,
it.
yeah, like they are taking people who have not perfect lives, and putting it on screen for other people to see, especially played by Daniel Savory, who is so passionate about Maya and
Yeah.
the storyline. I don't think that they could have picked somebody better to play Maya. I
I
don't.
can't see anyone else, like
Mm-mm.
anyone else playing her,
No.
honestly.
Is there any shows or movies that you feel don't get enough recognition?
Oh gosh. Like current?
I mean, any
I keep asking this question.
like
Current?
like airing or no? Current, I would say for me, I'll go first.
Okay.
I It was on the CW a few years ago. I didn't watch it until after it was already aired. But Rain, Adelaide Kane,
Yes.
so good. And I know period pieces aren't everybody's thing, but it is so good. And it's really funny because whenever I was watching it, I looked up, I just like, I knew it was based off a true, like, I knew it was based off Queen Mary of Scots, but in my brain, I kind of forgot about it or something, and I looked it up on Wikipedia, so then like the full story came up, and I didn't realize that they were actually following the Wikipedia page, which
Hmm.
how accurate that is, I don't know. And I like read and I spoiled and I was like, I should have known that she was gonna, spoiler, get beheaded.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I spoiled it for myself. So then I had to watch it and like anticipate that happening.
I honestly going back to the Fosters,
Yeah.
I feel like It did not get the run it deserves. That show was needed, and
Hmm.
it came at such a great time, right when same-sex marriage was legalized, like in America, and or yeah, something like that. Um, something like that.
We're 12, you know.
Right, right, right. And then so they had the wedding with the moms on there, and that was the first time I ever learned about ice. And
Oh,
yeah, during that show was the first time I ever learned about it.
wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are just trying to live their lives and someone's trying to ruin it. Like for no reason. They're not doing anything. They're being normal human beings. They're working. They're taking care of their kids, but people don't want them to. Like,
No, it's
it's ridiculous.
so, thinking about it infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just these people who, they're not doing anything.
Mm-mm.
Like, why are you, I don't know what, I don't get
There are
it.
just bigger problems in the world, I
There are
think.
way bigger problems in the world.
Like also in the Fosters, they had a lockdown. Uh, and that was also the time where school shootings were starting to like really pick up. And I feel like for the first time, people were able to see what kids go through daily at school. Like they're scared, and we're having to do all these lockdown drills, and we're just trying to learn science. Like,
Have you seen, this is kind of ish, well, kind of ish on topic. Have you seen the fallout with Jenna Ortega and Maddie Ziegler?
I haven't, but I've seen clips.
Okay, so it is, for those of you who haven't seen it, it is about Jenna Ortega and Maddie Ziegler. They're these two girls who go to high school, and it's kind of their, how they deal with their trauma post school shooting, where a few people at their school.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
I have seen it.
Yeah, and that movie, I mean, I will rave about Jenna Ortega any day. I mean, Maddie
She's
Ziegler
so
also killed
talented.
it. So talented and so young. I mean, she's only like a year younger than me, but still, it's just crazy to me. And that film, I felt, I mean, I have never experienced something like that, and I feel for people who have, and I, every time something like that happens, and and people are posting about thoughts and prayers, and I'm like, guys,
It's not gonna
that's
do
not going to fix
anything.
anything.
No,
It's not going to
it's
fix anything.
not.
Um, but they did a really good job at kind of showing the trauma of it all. And if we're talking movie, that movie, I feel like everybody should watch that.
Yeah.
Kind of going on with movies and TV shows, do you find yourself leaning into a certain genre, or do you just, whatever you enjoy, you enjoy?
I'm a huge like drama
Yeah.
girl. Like if you know, you know. I'm a very dramatic person in general. Like
I can attest.
yeah, yeah. But also I do love comedy, but it depends. Like okay, The Office, couldn't get into it, found it so
Mm-mm.
cringy. But Abbott, love that show. Love it. I love it. I want to be on that show so bad. So, you know, if anyone out there got some
Hey,
connections,
producers.
hey.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When it comes to TV shows, sorry, when it comes to TV shows, I definitely lean more towards drama. I've actually been getting, I mean, I guess because of Grey's and like Station and I guess The Rookie's only three shows, but like procedural type shows.
Hmm.
And then drama for sure. When it comes to film, it's kind of funny because well, if I like the movie, I like the movie. Like I don't really find myself gravitating towards a certain genre. Like I like Marvel, but
Hmm.
I also like okay, horror is is a touchy subject because I get scared so easily.
Me too.
My roommate is, she could put on The Conjuring, or I don't even know if that's, she doesn't like The Conjuring. Well, it's like the Terrifier films with the
Mhm.
clown. She can put that on and go to bed. Like
No.
she loves that stuff. And I remember one time, there was a movie called, I'm sure you've heard of it, Evil Dead Rise. It was the
No.
second one. Oh my gosh, it was the second film. And originally my nephew had asked me to go see it. And I was like, no. It was the one of the girl, and she like, I think there was like maggots or something in her mouth.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
no.
And my nephew asked me to go see it, and I was like, absolutely not. And then my roommate was supposed to go with one of her friends, and the friend ended up not being able to go, but she already had the tickets, and I was like, okay, I'll go. I sat there like this the entire time. That movie, terrifying. But it's funny because I love like I've never written a horror script, but I can think of horror ideas all day long.
She has.
I like,
Told me them guys.
well, yeah, specifically, but it's not something that I would like particularly go see unless somebody invites me to go to it.
Yeah.
And then also like I like Marvel. I I don't know. I like comedy films. Like that's weird. I don't like really comedy shows, but films, yeah.
I love musicals.
Oh, musicals. I literally have The Greatest Showman right there
I love
and the Mean
musicals.
Girls musical
I
one.
actually need to watch The Greatest. I've never seen it. I love the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack.
So good.
I used to be
So
able to
good.
play I close my eyes and I can
You can
see that
see.
one. I used
Yeah.
to be able to play that on the ukulele.
A million, I think it's A Million
A
Dreams is what
Million
it's
Dreams.
called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like my favorite. And then Rewrite the Stars with Zendaya and Zac Efron.
That's a good one.
So
Oh my
good.
god. I love musicals, and people who don't like musicals, I can't really trust you, honestly.
Yeah, I don't get it. The Wick. Oh my God, have you seen Wicked? You haven't seen Wicked.
Mm-mm.
I'm making when you come, guys. She's coming to visit for the first time in like 2 weeks, and I'm going to make her watch it. So good.
I was a theater kid, guys, so I do know of Wicked, and I love Wicked. I love the soundtrack. I love it. I just haven't seen the movie yet because my attention span is just not, it's
No,
not
it's
it.
not. I guess, but a lot of my TikTok followers, and I'm sure a lot of yours, The Rookie.
The Rookie.
The Rookie. Okay, so for those of you who don't watch The Rookie, it is airing on ABC, and it is about, well, essentially it's about John Nolan, and he starts out as a rookie, and he kind of navigates his way through the LAPD. But really, I feel like pretty much everybody's kind of a main character.
Yeah,
It kind of,
it does a really good job at, or the Rookie in general does a
mhm,
really good job at, like splitting their time up between every character,
mhm.
basically.
And it kind of follows all of them, like as far as their jobs in the department, off-screen relationships. So what?
Oh
Okay.
God.
So we all know by the time this is uploaded, the season 7 episode 6 will already be out. However, right now all that we know is the Chinford whenever they lean in or whatever, he's like or she says we shouldn't. And he's like I know. And then she like rolls her eyes, leans in. Do you think they're actually going to kiss? Or I think that they are going to kiss, but I don't think it's going to be in that scene.
I think they are gonna kiss, but I agree. I don't think it'll be in that scene. I feel like something's gonna interrupt them. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Maybe his sister or whatever um
Oh,
comes up
yeah.
and it's
I
like,
think
oh,
because like she kind of rolls her eyes, so I'm like, is she gonna walk away or is she gonna like, because whenever they did the practice kiss for Dim and Juicy, she like rolled her
yeah,
eyes and leaned in and like kissed him. So it could be that again, but I just feel like they wouldn't give it to us that easy.
not the parallel.
I know, and I'm pretty sure. Well, didn't they broke up in episode 6 of season 6, and this is
It's
episode.
been 10 months since they've broken up.
That is crazy. I do wish that they would have had a little bit more feistiness with the breakup. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like they became friends too easily
It
again.
was
I'm sure
very
they're
like
still hurt, but
it was very ballet. I needed some like jazz with
yeah,
it.
I needed some like Maya and Karina level yelling.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was,
You walk out that door, we're dead.
I lose you either way, Bella.
I'd rather lose you and have you be alive.
Our accents. Top tier. Okay, so what are you liking? Not even about this season, just in general. What are you liking about the rookie? What are things that you wish that they were touching on more? I know one thing that I'm wishing they were touching on more, which would be Lucy's trauma.
I said that in my. I
Oh,
just
your
posted a
video.
TikTok, guys, yesterday of my rookie unpopular opinions, and I said I wish they did like more with Lucy, and I
Hmm.
wish that there was kind of like a flashback for any character really, but I would love to see Lucy considering what's going on right now. Hello.
I know. I do know, and I talked about this in one of my videos, that the only thing we've really seen, I feel like, was one of the most recent episodes where they opened the trunk and that girl was like tied up.
Hmm.
And Melissa said during rehearsals, Melissa O'Neill, who plays Lucy Chin, she, which I know you know that, but opened the trunk and the girl being tied up, her body just kind of had a natural trauma response to it. And so then she recreated that during filming, and I was like, ah, the talent.
I met her in Chicago, guys. I met her. I did. Did I say anything to her? No, but it's okay. Actually, no. When I first saw the first thing I had with her was a photo. And I was just looking, I was like, oh, I was just all smiles, like I
Hmm.
took our photo and then she said something to me. Couldn't tell you what it was, but she said something. And then we did our autograph, and I think we had some sort of a conversation there. Also, couldn't tell you what went on, but
I'm meeting her in July. I'm so excited.
I need Shamar to go back because
Oh, that
I
man.
mean, I'm not even sure if I'm going yet. I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
We all know I'm gonna
She's gonna
go.
go. She's gonna
But
go.
I am so mad I didn't get a picture with him. Like so mad.
He like before I went in for my photo, he like lifted his shirt and like I didn't ask him to do this. Obviously, I would no, no, but he lifted his shirt and like started flexing his abs, and I was like,
Yes. Yes. You've never watched Criminal Minds.
I've seen some. I got okay. Here's the thing. I remember when I was younger, there was this one episode that came out, and it was
Scary.
these two girls. They were friends, and they got kidnapped, and they were put in like this container, and they couldn't get out unless the other one killed the other one. And I was traumatized. I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. And so I stopped watching it. But like, I was also younger, so I think now with the respective lights on, I could watch it.
No, I will never watch that in the dark or at night.
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
absolutely not. I also think that I'm pretty sure, okay, I could totally be making this up, but with
Mm.
Criminal Minds, I think some of their if some if not all of their episodes like with the case that was going on, I'm pretty sure those are like true stories.
Oh.
I think. I don't know, guys. I could totally be making that up. Don't
Mm.
quote me on that. I'll have to Google it. But I'm pretty sure they're true stories. I remember there was one episode where they did a case out of Florida, and I was like, my Florida? Wait, wait. I
Like, are
gotta
you at
get
my
out of
door?
here. Right.
It's still airing. It's like, how many
It's
seasons does that have?
it's okay, so it's called Criminal Minds Evolution. I haven't seen it
Oh.
yet, but it's I guess it's a spin-off of
Oh,
it.
okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, or I don't like stay like updated with it.
Updated.
But I do have a few mutuals who watch it.
Three shows. You are on a deserted island. Deserted? What?
Deserted?
Deserted? Deserted island. They're the only ones you can watch. What are you watching?
Just shows, not films.
You could do movies. Three. You could do a combination.
What if like the movie has like a sequel? Can there be one?
No.
That's
That's too easy.
rude. Okay, fine. Um, The Rookie, definitely. Bring It On, All or Nothing. Can watch that movie every day and not get tired of it. The Fosters.
I'm so surprised you didn't say Station.
I was going to. I was going to, but then I put a movie in.
Okay. I. Ah,
I feel like
man.
I feel like I know one of yours.
The Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. Okay, then I know two of yours.
Probably Barbie.
Oh, that was the one. That's
I
the one.
I people can say what they want about that movie, but I am obsessed with Margot Robbie and I thought that movie was so
So
fun.
your shirt.
Oh yeah, my Margot Robbie shirt. You can't really see because if I lift my shirt up anymore, then you'll be getting a show. But um, oh God, I don't know for my third.
Say
This is hard.
station for me.
You want me to say station for you?
Yeah.
Okay, station 19. So while we're on the topic of station, are there any shows that you think were canceled too soon?
Maybe like Station
Oh my God,
19 or
the
something.
car outside my window. Obviously, like they knew we were gonna say that. Also, I don't really have much to say on this because I don't remember. It's been so long. But there was a show called The Society
I
that
remember that show.
it came on Netflix, and it only had a season, and it had the potential to be so good. It ended on a cliffhanger. For those of you who haven't seen The Society, essentially these kids they're on a field trip, I think, and they're in a storm, and their bus gets lost in the woods. I might be mixing up shows, but essentially that's what it is. When the storm happens, they end up being the only people on the planet, or like in their little town or whatever. Um, and nobody knows like where everybody else went. And then at the end, it kind of alludes to that, but you don't really find out because the show got canceled. However, the main girl, Catherine Newton, she went on to be in a Marvel film.
Mhm.
So sometimes things just work out. Because if she was still in the society, who knows if she would have been able to be in Marvel? Like, that's crazy.
Exactly. That's
Marvel?
huge.
And
That's huge.
it was one of like the bigger Marvel films too, like Ant-Man.
Mhm.
That's like a pretty That's like one of the main ones. And
That's amazing.
so going back to station, because I feel like this is the one we can really get into. What do you? Okay, what do you? What did you like the ending first off? This is controversial, so be careful.
I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
Um, okay. I feel obligated to say yes because they didn't. Okay, if you don't know Station, if you're not familiar with it, their show got canceled in the beginning of filming season seven. Um, and no one was prepared at all. Oh, sorry if you heard that, guys. My bad. They weren't prepared. They were told during lunch, I believe, and then had to just continue filming throughout the day.
So sad.
And I would have literally packed up my things and went home. Like, you're gonna
What?
tell me I'm getting fired and I have to continue to work?
Right.
Absolutely not. Wrap it up right now. Like,
Yeah.
no. Um, so they had to change everything. So like they had a few storylines that they were gonna do or plan to do, and they couldn't do it because their show was getting canceled. Like they had to wrap up the season in 10 episodes. By the way, guys,
That's
10.
crazy.
Um, I'm still mad about that. But anyways, the ending of Station, the last episode was like a flash forward, kind of thing, and everyone had mixed reviews about it. If you're on Stan Twitter, like you know how brutal it is.
Mhm.
And for the most, okay, I'm like beating around the question.
No, you it just okay. Can I say, and then
Yes,
maybe
yeah, yeah,
you'll
yeah,
agree
yeah,
with what I say?
yeah.
I, in general, with shows, am not a big fan of flash forwards.
Mhm.
I feel like it's rushed,
Mhm.
but in their defense, it was rushed.
Yeah, they
They
could be.
didn't plan for that.
Yeah,
And it's not on the actors. It's not their fault at all.
not on the
They did
writers,
what
not on anyone.
it's not on anyone. Like they did with what they were given.
Yeah, they did what they could.
And so for that reason, I do feel like they kind of tied up certain things pretty well.
Yeah,
But just as like a general standpoint, I don't like flash forwards.
yeah,
But I do think with what they were given, they did
yeah.
a
I
good
feel
job.
like it could have went a way that we did not want it to go, and it didn't.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think honestly, I'm saying I can't complain while also kind of complaining, but like,
Well,
um,
it just sucks it got canceled. It shouldn't have been
yeah,
canceled.
literally that's the only thing I'm complaining about. That
Yeah.
got canceled and we didn't get anything else. Like Karina had just told Maya she
Hmm.
was pregnant. Like she went from telling Maya she was pregnant to having 3 kids. Like what?
Hmm.
Let me know how that works.
Yeah.
But
I, okay, well, while we're talking about that, are there any storylines that you wish would have went differently or you would have liked to see has had the show gone on?
I would have loved. Okay, in the flash forward scene, we all saw that Maya was giving birth. I would
Right.
have loved to see that conversation. How that
Hmm.
conversation played out. Like if you know Maya Bishop in the beginning seasons of Station, like she did not want any gremlins. Like she didn't want any kids running around her house.
No.
And then so to go from not wanting kids to having a kid, like birthing one, like
Crazy
how
stuff.
did how did that come about? I
Crazy.
would have loved to see that conversation between Maya and Karina. I would
Hmm.
have loved. Wait, are you asking like
Yeah,
what?
like just like what you would want to see. Like I would
Oh,
have loved to see well, I guess this is more i- in general with the show. The IVF storyline went on way too long.
girl,
Way too long.
if like literally take a shot every time they said IVF, like we would have been on the roof or something. Like
No,
literally.
I would have been had to go to the hospital and get
Like
my
I
stomach pumped.
literally I would have. I wish they would have just like every few episodes, okay. But to drag, I think they were trying to get pregnant for what 3 seasons,
It was something. It was like two and a half seasons. It was insane.
like that. Wrap it up. Wrap
No,
it up.
no, literally wrap it up.
It was so annoying. Um, I would have loved to see more of Maya's mental health storyline,
Oh yeah,
but we're not even gonna get on that.
because that was yeah. It's just when it happened, it was happening, and it was so good with like they were good with it. And then it happened, like the big break, and then I she had her therapy session, and then I know that she had mentioned that she was still seeing Diane, which in the show was the therapist, but like after that, I mean, what meds were they giving her? Because I need that. Like,
So literally, my sertraline is not working as fast as that one
like
is.
just like girl, let me talk to Diane because whatever you need, I need. Or
Right,
whatever you're getting, I need.
right. And also, Andy's essay storyline.
Oh,
That
that.
one, because it also kind of
Mhm.
tied into Karina as well, talking about her own
Mhm.
essay and like the way we had an episode and a half, 2 episodes, whatever, of just Andy's like it didn't deep dive into it, and you don't recover from something like that in
No.
two
And
days.
it
Like,
was like what? Maybe like 3 episodes they touched on it?
yeah, if
Two,
that, and
two
half the
maybe?
ones it was her trying not to go to jail. Like,
No, literally. Another thing, this is like so off topic. Do you remember, I don't remember what season it was, but whenever Travis beat that guy up in the bar and then he got served. Exactly. He got served. He went to jail. And or no, he went to jail, whatever. Got bailed out. I'm pretty sure Herrera like Pruitt bailed him out, and he went home. And then like in an episode, they were like, "Oh, you're being charged." And then I swear that was the end of it. Like that was the last thing we heard.
clearly, I
Clearly,
don't remember that.
clearly. Um, Another thing that I would have liked to see, which this can be, I there's two ways with it. Maya and Mason.
Oh my god!
One,
Don't get me started on that.
well, listen. For the picture perfect ending of it all, it would have been nice for Mason to be like, you know, accepting of her and her family and all of that. But if you look on like a realistic side of it all, there that conversation happens with so many families.
So many.
And it's like it better left unsaid because it is more realistic. Or it's like do I want the tie neatly with the bow?
Okay. I kind of liked. It sucks that Mason turned out to be a total douche,
Mhm.
but also so many people like have families who or siblings, moms, dads, whatever, uncles, aunts who are like Mason who feel so alone in
Mhm.
that. And
Yeah.
so I think to have Maya and Mason not rekindle and everything like that, I feel like that was so needed. Like
It
I
was
hate that it happened, but
yeah.
it needed to happen. Like it showed real life. Like
And it also like I heard well in an interview Danielle did or Danielle and Cameron, right?
yeah.
Cameron, they it was like a one take thing. Or no, I don't
Yeah.
know if it was a one take, but it was like they did do it in one
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
One of the times, I don't know if that's the take they used, but the acting in that, if anybody wants to see what Station is like,
Go watch
that
that scene. Go
so
watch
good.
that scene. Go watch that scene. Okay. If you could like people who have never seen Station before, like if you could tell them to go watch 3 scenes, what would it be?
Maya and Karina, the 5150 scene, for sure. The gosh, a lot of these just have to do. There's so many good Vic ones. Like so like Barrett, insane.
So
Um
freaking. I need someone to cast her right now.
I probably the scene I want to say it was season 7 and I can't it's been a minute. I just rewatched the show, but my memory.
Literally just rewatched it.
Literally like just rewatched it, but it's whenever it's not this scene, but it's the scene before where she like explodes. And
Yes.
Travis is like you're the baby. And she's
Hmm.
crying, but it's the scene before that where she's like they're sitting in the fire
Yep.
like
I know
thing.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that scene. And then it's got to be between the Maya and Mason scene or the one of Maya getting the IVF from Beckett.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that scene, and people were like, "Oh my god, like they made up." Like, no, I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I the scene of the scene that let me cook. Hold on,
No,
y'all.
you got it.
Um,
She's finding it.
Danielle, no, Maya, my bad.
It's okay.
Maya and her dad like go at it kind of when he pulls her ponytail.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And she's like, I don't win my battles for you, or
Yeah,
whatever.
she's
Yeah.
like, unlike you, I win them myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Her medals. I guys, that line right there, favorite line.
Mhm.
Favorite Maya line, like literally ever. Literally ever.
So good.
I that scene and then her cutting her hair.
Okay, that one, and then also go. I know you said three. The one of her whenever her mom comes back to the firehouse, and she yells at Karina,
Yeah.
and she's like, "I'm
I'm
not in
pissed.
denial. I'm pissed."
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that one's so good. And then if we're talking like fun scenes, probably the one of Maya and Karina in the captain's office, and then the
That
one,
was so
and
good.
then the stomach scene. You guys know.
If you know, you know.
You
If you
know,
know, we're
you
not gonna
know.
expose ourselves right like on it like right now, but
But if you
you know,
know,
you
you
can
know.
go watch it and then you can just
I guess like this kind of can go to the next one. Rounding out our last topic, reboots, spin-offs, do they work? Do they not work?
okay. So I feel like it just depends, honestly,
Hmm.
because the Fosters, they were canceled. They got a spin-off, Good Trouble, with not Maya. Whoa. Mariana and Callie,
Hmm.
and that show was also canceled. So I feel like it depends. It
Okay.
needs to hit if you're gonna spin it off.
I feel like there is okay, the Vampire Diaries. They went on to have a spin-off, which that show was so good. I sometimes would argue that I might like it better. It's called The Originals, which the characters were introduced in um The Vampire Diaries, and then while they were still filming, they got their own spinoff. And that show was so good. It was a like the storylines were good. And then the originals got a spinoff called Legacies, and that show you if you're into it, like you have to be into it. It just I feel like it kind of steered away so far from the original plot
Hmm.
of the first two spin-offs. I liked the characters in the spin-off Legacies. It just the plot wasn't for me,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Um, but there are certain spin-offs where, okay, for example, I know Pretty Little Liars had they had a spin-off. They might have had
I
two
remember
spin-offs.
hearing about it. And also
The reboot,
okay, I could be wrong about this, but also Scream Queens.
yes, was
I've
that?
never seen it, but
Yeah, Scream Queens, which
s-
I I like the
try again.
Scream Queens. Sorry, I fumbled. Which I don't know if that has anything to do with Scream,
I
like the
I
film,
I
because
couldn't
I
tell you.
have seen the Scream films, even though I have a little bit of beef with them right now. Um, but I'm trying to think of anything else that I've watched with spin-offs. I mean, yeah, Pretty Little Liars, and they had the reboot, which was the like Summer School, and then I haven't seen it, but anyways, that recently got canceled. I think after 2 or 3 seasons.
Mhm.
And then I feel like a lot of reboots that I hear about nowadays are from like shows when we were kids. Like
Oh, Wizards of Waverly
when
Place.
yeah, was like I feel like it's a nostalgic feel that make them work. So like Wizards of Waverly Place, I haven't seen it because I'm just not really into Disney or
I
not
haven't
Disney,
seen it
the
either.
reboot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen because I'm just not into like that's just not my stuff anymore.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like it could work because it's I mean it's Wizards of Waverly Place. Same with That's So Raven and Raven's Home. I haven't
I
seen it, but
I want to say Raven's Home was canceled.
I think it was. But I think it had a few seasons
Yeah,
at least.
I think six maybe.
Um, but as far as spin-offs, oh, and then another reboot that was really good. I was a Full House kid.
Oh, Fuller House! I
Like
watched that. Yeah.
loved that show down. And then they did the reboot, and I don't 5 seasons, four
Something
or
like
five
that.
seasons, and I liked it because it kind of felt like it was similar to the original. Like obviously it was different because the Olsen twins weren't there and it's 20 whenever it aired.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty good for a reboot.
Yeah, I
Um
liked it. I enjoyed it. I
yeah.
liked the DJ's little boy was really cute.
Oh, Max.
Yes.
So, so cute. Um, okay, so going off of Station 19, we people are still rallying, which is crazy. Like that's crazy. But I I mean in a dream world, yeah, but I would want I don't they wouldn't do a reboot right now because it just went off
Yeah,
air.
no.
Um, but for a spinoff, I mean, I think Danielle and Stefania said this in Chicago. Put a Marina spinoff and put it on HBO.
Oh, I would not be able to handle myself. Like,
Mm-mm. Oh
actually
my
would not be
God.
able to handle myself. I would be screaming
I
at
know.
every single scene. Like, literally screaming.
I
Like, give them Marina spinoff. We have them in a house.
the
We have
sitcom
them,
idea.
yeah, with their, oh my God, yeah, remember, they put
Pitched
out,
it.
yeah, a sitcom idea and ABC turned them down. So,
They just don't want to see them succeed, which it sucks. That was like the they were such a good
duo.
couple
Yeah.
for network television.
Yeah.
Um,
They were
So
great.
we have decided, since it's called the table read, every time we interview somebody, we are going to ask them who their dream table read is. 6 people max. Does not include writer and director. So if they come on, they're like, "Oh, I want this person to direct it." Doesn't
Yes, please.
include 6 actors max. And we decided we'll start it off with us going first to kick off the podcast series. And
Yeah.
Takaya, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I would want to write it.
hmm
Greta Gerwig, direct. Um, Margot Robbie, hands down, Margot Robbie. Danielle Savory. I want them to play sisters so bad.
That would be
Um,
so good.
they look there's one scene in the station where, anyways. Jenna Ortega, love Jenna Ortega. Zendaya, I love
I
Zendaya.
love her too.
Oh my God, I love her. I, God, she's so good. Um, how many people do I have? 3. Margot. Oh,
Margot.
Zendaya. Okay, okay,
4.
okay. Um, Melissa O'Neill. Ah, love her. And then this last person, I don't know, I don't think you know who this is. I've talked about her. Claudia Jessie.
You have
She
talked.
plays Eloise Bridgerton in Bridgerton, and she is the funniest actress that I think I have ever seen. Like her interviews, I am dying. She's so funny. But
Yeah.
I would say that's my 6.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Writer, you.
Thanks.
Director.
Oh, wait, now I feel bad.
No,
I put you in
no,
mine. Okay.
no, don't.
Okay. God.
Um, director, either Peter Page or Stefania.
Okay.
One of the, or they're gonna be co-director and director. That's
Okay.
gonna be it. Actors, Danielle Savory, Barrett Doss.
Ah, love Barrett.
Um, okay, I cannot say his last name, but Giacomo.
Oh
Love
yeah.
him. Would love
Yeah.
him. Oh gosh, I'm blanking. Melissa,
Okay.
do you count yourself?
You can count yourself.
Myself.
I put myself in mine.
And what have I
Well,
watched
what do you
recently?
want Stefania? She can direct and act.
Okay, Stefania.
Stefania, there you go. Uh,
Oh, I know, Colleen. I love her.
Queen, oh yes.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh my
I
gosh,
know.
first episode, guys.
We are going to be uploading every Thursday, so stay tuned.
We don't have a time yet, but
Don't have a time. We're going to play it by ear. But thank you guys so much, and we will be back next week.
yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This was fun.